Okay, I haven't froze yet. I hope it's working. Wait just a minute, make sure everything is copacetic. I had to switch phones. I'll wait till some people will jump in. Okay, I think it's working. Okay, I'm not gonna freeze. I don't know what was going on. I had to use my personal phone. I had to download the app on Facebook and everything. So let me mute my work phone real quick. Okay. Hi, Kendall. She's texting me screenshots of what the screen looked like whenever I was broken. So anyway, okay, let's get started on this. I'm going early tonight because there's also director training that Amy and Shayla are doing tonight in the To Director page. So I might change the team training in our page to go a little bit earlier. And 9 o'clock is it's always a little bit hectic for us too. So I've been utilizing the team training, which is actually a good tip for you guys to utilize other people's things, because whenever you're growing really big, you can't keep up with everything and you can't be there all the time for everybody. So, okay, but we are going to talk a little bit about that too. So the title of this is something that I picked up from Carrie Wilkinson. She was the keynote speaker up at the director retreat. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some notes that I took away from her, which was be a CEO and not an uh-oh of your business, which this hit me really, really hard. I was like, oh, because I'm really, really terrible at setting schedules and setting standards and sticking with something and whatnot. You guys will get to see my kitty while she's hanging out with us. So anyway, rule number 1, something to remember is you have to take charge in your business and plan out your schedule. If you guys have ever watched any previous training videos that I have, she is very distracting. Oh my goodness. Okay. Look at this, Josh. She's like a perfect little image in the background of my video. So anyway. Oh, actually, you know what? I probably need to edit this thing and make sure that nobody can join. You think it'll mess up on me? Have you guys been having that problem? It's not showing me anything. Okay, so maybe it's okay. So, okay. Basically, you guys need to be able to have a schedule and plan out your day in order to be effective in your business. So one thing that Carrie Wilkinson really talked about is taking charge of your day and not letting it come at you all day long. So one word of advice that I tell everybody, if you guys are wanting your paycheck to grow, you have to measure where you're at right now. So that's another thing that I'm going to talk about. And also you guys need to plan your goals. Write down your goals, map it out, and then see how long it's going to take you to get there. But here's the deal. You have to put a deadline on those goals. If you do not put a deadline on those goals, then you're not ever going to get there. It's just a fact. You have to shrink your goals from time to time as well. So anything that you are putting out there, as you're getting better and better, you guys should be able to shrink your goals and be able to hit them sooner. I know a lot of you guys are actually hitting your ranks a lot sooner than you hit your goals for. So that's one thing that I want you guys to talk about. Another thing is check your commission reports. Go through your commission reports and look at where you're getting commissions from. So that's one thing that I really try to focus on is, you know, especially whenever I was first growing. I don't do it now, however, because it's just different than it used to be for me. Whenever I was really trying to hit a certain amount of income a month, and now it's a lot different. Now it's just, I feel like I can measure my paycheck by your guys' paychecks. I'm just making sure that all my girls and my team is continuing to basically earn what they want to earn. So now my measuring is a little bit different. However, whenever I was trying to make an amount of money that was going to change our financial life, I would go through my commission report and I would look through where I was getting paid, how I can track who I need to be working with, you know, and where the income is coming from. Because sometimes we'll realize that there's a team that's really, really deep, that's reaching out to you a lot and you don't know how to say no. I go through this all the time. I went through this for 3 years now. However, whenever you map out your day and you've got your day planned for the things that you need to focus on, which is 100% your own personal business, if you've got stuff planned out, then, you know, you've got to realize that, you know, what's really, really important to you. And you've got to create some boundaries in that. And that's something that I really really struggle with, because I'm the type of person who I will say yes to everything. Things will be coming at me all day long and I'll say yes. And for those of you guys who are maybe, MMB and up or market mentor and up, you guys are probably dealing with the same experiences. Things come at you all day long and you just want to help your people all day long. But the more that we are taking off our focus from our own personal business, which is recruiting VIPs and market partners, the harder it's going to be for us. So I still have lists and lists and lists of things that, I've got to deal with customer service and stuff like that. But, you've got to make sure that you are taking initiative on your own personal business, which is planning out your calendar. What events do you have planned? What reach outs do you have planned? For example, yesterday I hadn't reached out to anybody, not one person, and Josh come home and he was making sure that I had talked to one of our new financial advisors that we're working with, and I was like, have you asked his wife to be in the business? And he's like, no, so I texted him last night and I was like, your wife needs to do the business with me. Would she like to? And he said, that's a swell idea. I think that would be awesome. So, I'm getting exposures through everybody. I run into people all the time and I'm working with people on a daily basis. So everybody's a connector and everybody is open for business as long as you open up your business and talk to people about it. So don't be ashamed to talk to people about this, because this is something that is going to potentially change their life if they take action and do it. So create deadlines and urgency. If you do not create urgency in your life, then life will create it for you. And that's something really powerful, because that was happening to me constantly too. I've dealt with this still constantly. It's something that I'm always going to have to learn. But you've got to be able to create this urgency in your business in order for you to accomplish the things that are important for you. Because and here's the thing, if you don't have something that's really important to you right now, you've got to write that out too. It's just like onboarding. If you guys are not re-onboarding yourself every month, then how are you taking initiative in your own personal business? If you're not personally doing it, how are you telling yourself, I've got to do this and this and this? Where's your event? Who are you talking to right now? And so the contest that I've got going out is actually the same exact concept. It's basically it's about you doing face-to-face things. It's about you doing the personal activity, which is reaching out to people. And I'm guilty of falling away from this too. So don't think that I am like telling you guys that I do this and you don't. This is something that I'm having aha moments myself talking about this. But I have to continuously do the reach outs, and I have to continuously be looking for those VIP customers, because one VIP customer in your business could turn into a director leg in the future. I have actually seen that happen. So don't undermine the things that you're doing in your business today that can turn into a huge, massive difference in your lifestyle, your paycheck, and your team. So for example, it might not feel like a big effort to reach out to somebody that you haven't talked to yet, but that's one little small thing that you can do in your business that's going to lead to a greater cause in the end, which is, possibly a huge team member, which is going to carry a lot of your volume. So just remember, those little things that you're doing in your business is really honestly going to build the paycheck that you want today. And what's crazy is that like my paycheck a year ago was a lot different than it is now. However, whenever I grow 10% increase, I'm still growing in those increases. So whenever you have a much larger paycheck, your increases will grow as well. So I feel like a lot of you guys might be experiencing an amazing paycheck. Some of you guys are experiencing the feeling of, this is definitely not good enough for me. And I like both ends of the spectrum on this, okay? I work with both ends of the spectrum. I work with people who don't do this for the money, and I work with people who do this solely for the money and for their own personal self-fulfillment, success needs. So for me, now it's about loving what I do and doing what I love. And that way I'm not working every single day of my life, because I do this pretty much every single day of my life. So that's another thing I want to talk about is what do you need to do to adjust? And think about this. And I'm going to do the same thing. I write down stuff all the time that I have to work on, because even though I'm in, I've been in for 3 years, I'm still adjusting things. I'm still trying to better myself too. That way I can stay on my toes and help you guys out with things too. Because the more I can offer my team, the more income it's going to be, and the more rewards it's going to be. And then also I'm passing on some skill sets that you guys could teach on to your team too. So it's a beautiful thing. It's an incredible concept. And you got to stop and ask yourself, like I do, what do I need to do to adjust myself to create a long-term sustainable business? So what are the things that you're doing in your business that you're like, why am I doing this? If you feel like you're doing something that you don't love doing, then you're doing something wrong. I full-heartedly believe that. You guys can adjust the things that you're doing in your business that can allow you to love this. One thing, for example, is rewarding yourself after doing something that's scary. Get a powwow buddy, somebody who's going to high-five you or tell you congratulations whenever you reach out to somebody that scares you. You know, having little camaraderie, people like this in your life is going to help you a lot. Just having other women to empower you. So make sure that you guys are connecting with other people as well that will make you feel like you're worthy and that you are doing a good job. Because those little things are worth a lot. They're worth big things to you and big things to your future. But, okay. This is really, really cool. I like this. Simplicity. Every time you try to get your business fancy, it's not going to duplicate. So remember this. Master the skills that it takes to become a network marketer and simplify everything, and it will continue to grow. And this is like something that I have lived by. I have made my business complicated, and I've also made it simple. The more that you utilize the company tools that they have for you, the easier it's going to be. So while you're building your business and you've got this planned out, just know what your next step is. What's your next step with this certain person? What's your next step in your business and talking to new people? And then along the way, as your team is coming along, you're going to learn these things as you go. Somebody told me at the leadership retreat, or the director retreat, they said that somebody, I can't remember who started this, but somebody said, this business is literally like drinking from a fire hose. And it is. You have to take one sip at a time. You can't just do it. Kink the hose and take on a little bit that you can. Don't overwhelm yourself. I know all of this stuff just feels like it could be flooding you left and right, but it really does get simple, even though sometimes it's not like... Sometimes us as market partners, we're so excited, we throw the whole chapter book at you instead of, showing you the first chapter and quizzing you to make sure that you know what you're doing. So amidst all the chaos in Monat in this business, I hope that you just slow yourself down and tell yourself that it's worth it to try to learn some new things. And because this kind of business is going to pay you very, very well for what you're worth. So whether you're new or old, just remember that. I feel like I have such a large demographic of people to talk to on these videos. So I have a hard time with that sometimes. Hope everybody gets something good out of this. But, and I can't see any comments right now, so I don't know if they're even going through or not. But anyway, so basically, if you focus 100% on your personal business, the VIPs can turn into market partners. I've actually drove 4 hours to show up to a meeting where a VIP showed up. That VIP converted over to a market partner, and she's running for director today. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen from, having just one person. So continue on with your coffee dates, your one-on-ones, your FaceTimes. And the whole point of my contest is to get you to remember that it's those small things in your business that's going to turn into paychecks that you don't even recognize. It's going to turn into that success that you never thought even possible. So simplify things down and give yourself a break. If you are, struggling and hitting walls, give yourself some slack. We're all going through this together. Most of the time we're our own worst critics, so don't compare yourself with other people in this business because you are only doing your own race. If I were to compare myself in my previous business to anybody, I wouldn't have learned anything that I learned. And in the beginning of this business, I wouldn't have learned anything if I felt like I knew it all, or if I felt like I wasn't good enough. So there's a really healthy balance that you guys just have to know that every single time that you're running into that wall, just, dig into a book. Personal development's going to help a ton. All these videos in here, all the team training videos, I see you guys tagging people like constantly in there. Just remember to go through there and just continue to use the stuff that works. And if there's anything that you guys need help with from me, just start putting it in the comments on the videos. Tag me, let me know. I'm really here to just help you guys, and I don't want to be like a broken record, and I definitely don't want to waste anybody's time on the trainings or anything. I feel like if I'm doing more trainings than actually reaching out to people, then I'm not doing my personal job. So I'm still working my business, you know, even though everybody else is applying that's in this page, I'm still leading the way that I would hope that you guys would be doing your business too, because that's just the way it goes. So if there's something that you feel like you're doing wrong, you know, just adjust yourself. Adjust to what you're doing today that's not working, that maybe other people are doing. Go listen to some videos. And honestly, most of the time you're just overcomplicating yourself and overcomplicating the business, and maybe just, it's just not, if it's just not clicked yet, it will, I promise. There is milestones along in this business that things are going to click and change for you. So just keep at it and keep trying to do mistakes, because the more mistakes you do is going to seriously build your entire business. Actually, Ray said that, and I wrote it down here too. So whenever we're at director retreat, I'm going through all these old notes because that's what I do every week, is I try to find some old stuff. Ray said something about letting them do mistakes. I wanted to quote it because it was so great. But basically, he said, you know, allow people to go out there and make mistakes. You know, don't hoover over them and telling them, don't do this, do this, do this, do that. You know, most of the time, if it's not broken, just let them go do it. Most of the time, people are already networking before they come into this business. Most of the time, people do get along with people. You know, it could be just as simple as showing a recommendation for a product that you love. So don't overcomplicate things. Let people go out there and share their heart for this product, because that is good enough. The more you complicate things and the more hype that you create, it's going to be like false advertising. So be genuine with the products. You know, be genuine with the income that you're earning. You know, we don't make our income claims publicly, but you can definitely share with those people that you're talking to about how successful this business can help somebody become. So feel free to share it with your people, but just don't post them publicly so we're not boasting, because Monique just wants to keep it really classy with the DSA and everything. So I hope you guys are super proud of your paychecks. I know a lot of you guys should be, because mine keeps going up. So that just means you guys are earning more and being able to provide for your families more. And in the end, that's what it's all about. It's not about having anything extra fancy, because happiness doesn't come from materialistic things. It really does come from just feeling like you can not be in need and give other people more. So, and the same thing goes for the value of yourself. The more value that you put in yourself with this personal development and training and doing these mistakes and running into walls and learning and failing over and over and becoming a leader, the more and more you do that, the more enriched you're going to feel as well. So it's going to reward you in so many ways that you never even thought possible. So just keep striving to be a better person every single time you get out there, and just remember to simplify it. There's nothing wrong with you if you're struggling, if you're stuck. You know, there's always adjustments that we need to make. This is a life that is full of non-balance. If you want to do network marketing, there's no balance. You can create your priorities and you can tackle them and get them done, but you're not in charge of other people's stuff. So just remember that, to make sure that you take care of your business first and lead by example that way, and continue to encourage your team. So anyway, I can't see comments. I wish I could, but anyway, I'll get off of here, and I hope you guys have an awesome Tuesday night. There's a director team training that's going on with 2 of the directors. I'll tag the link below so you guys can watch it, but I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.